this video, we're going to talk about cumulative frequencies. First, the vocabulary. A cumulative frequency describes a sort of running total of frequencies in a frequency distribution. Example 1. The table below shows the normal precipitation in Los Angeles, California. The second column of the table shows the precipitation by month. Part A, complete the cumulative precipitation chart. So remember, cumulative means running totals. So first we're going to do is we're just going to bring the 2.4 over to represent the month of January. So next, it's kind of like a zigzag pattern. We'll add in the month of February. So it'll be 2.4 plus 2.51 to have a running total at this as of February 4.91 inches. Then we're going to add in the month of March. So 4.91 plus 1.98 to have a total of 6.89. Then we're going to add in the month of April. Add the 0.72 to have a running total of 7.61 at this point. Then we're going to add in the month of May. We're adding the 0.14 to have a running total of 7.75. Then we're going to add in the month of June, which is 0.03, to have a running total at this point of 7.78. Then we're going to add in the month of July, which is 0.01, to have a running total of 7.79. Then we're going to add in the month of August to have a running total of 7.94. Then we'll add in the month of September to have a running total of 8.25. Then we'll add in October to have a running total of 8.59. Then we're going to add in November to have a running total of 10.35. And then we're going to add in the month of December to have a running total of 12.01. Okay, next in part B, it's asked us to, we're going to make a, not a line graph, we're going to make a bar graph. So start with January, which is 2.4. So we're going to approximate 2.4 on our bar graph, and we're going to fill it in. Next, for February, we're going to go up to 4.91 to represent the cumulative total as of February. So take note, this is a bar graph. We do not want the bars to touch. Then for March, we're at 6.89 for running total. So we're going to go up to approximate 6.89, and we're going to fill in our bar. Take note, I'm still not letting these bars touch. April, we have a total of 7.61. And we're going to fill the bar in. May, we have 7.75. So we'll approximate 7.75, which is just slightly higher. And we're going to fill the bar in. June, we have a total of 7.78. In July, we have 7.79. So we'll handle June and July. Take note, they're going to look roughly the same because we're trying to sketch it by hand. August, we're at 7.94. September, we're at 8. We have a running total of 8.25 inches. Take note, it did look pretty flat for a while between April, May, and June because we're talking about Los Angeles, an area that's in a desert. So it does make sense that you're not going to see much increase in precipitation because it's a very dry region. So you also have to take into consideration when you do word problems what the context is. So October we have a little bit more rain, or so we raise up to 8.59. November we have a little bit more, so we break 10 to get a 10.35. And then October December we reached 12.01. And we're done graphing. Now we're asked about when has half of the rain fallen. So to figure that out, we need to do, for part D, we need to do half is 0.50 or 0.5. We're going to multiply this by 12.01. So 0.5 times 12.01 is 6.005. So now we need to look at our chart. Let's change to a different color for this. So we're looking for the 6.005. Let's use different shades of yellow and orange. So we look at March, we're at 6.89. We look at February, we're at 4.91. So I don't see 6.005, but by the end of February, we're at 4.91 inches. So we have to argue that this occurs in March. So this is part C, not D. For part D, we're asking when has 3/4 of the rain fallen. So D, just do 0.75 for 3/4 times the 12.01, which gives me 9.0075. So we're looking for 9.0075, and we'll use our orange and red to find it. So if we look at November, we're at 10.35. If we look at October at 8.59, so remember 8.59 is the amount of precipitation by the end of October. So we have to use November. So 75% of our 3/4 of our precipitation has fallen by November. So we just say this occurs in November for 3/4 of the rain falling. And we're done. Example 2 is about finding box office sales for in a cumulative situation. So we're given the movie Black Panther, and these are the actual box office sales for the first 7 weeks. So at week 1, Black Panther made $291,954,422. That's in the United States alone. So remember, we just copy it over. So then we're going to add in week 2. So add it all together, 291, 954, 422 plus $435,400,037. And by the end of week 2, Black Panther has made $727 million 354,000 and $459. Now for week 3, we're going to add in the 520 million. So we'll take our previous total, add in 520 million, 879,601 for a running total as of week 3, 1, 2, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 0, 6, 0. So as of week 3, it's broken $1 billion. Add in week 4, add the 578,376, 528. We're getting closer to $2 billion by the end of week 2. So 1,826,610,588 by the end of week 4. So it looks like by the end of week 5, we should have broken 2 billion. So add in the $614,258,236, and that's 2,440,868,000 and $824. Add in week 6, so 639,436,634, because it's we break 3 billion, so $3 billion, 80 million, 305,000 and $458. And then add in our last week, week 7, so that's 656,925,740. They get a final running total for the first 7 weeks, 3,737,231,000 and $198. Now these are rather large numbers, so it's going to be very tricky to graph these. So what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on everything bigger than millions. It's going to highlight that section. So this one would be 291, 727, 1,248, 1,826, 2,440, 3,080, and 3,737. So we're going to create a cumulative bar graph. Okay, the first bar we want to look at is we want to look at week 1, so that's 291 million. So our bar graph design and cumulative sales in millions. So 291 million will be just under 500. Then for week 2, we have 727 million. So just draw a bar out for week 2 to be careful not to let your bars touch. For week 3, we have 1,248. For week 4, we're at 1,826. And fill it in. For week 5, we have a running total of 2,440 million. And fill it in. For week 6, we have a running total of 3,080 million. Careful not to let it touch. And then the last bar would be 3,737 million for week 7. So just above the 3,500. And fill it in. So take note, the bars do rise a little each time. Next, we want 1 quarter, find the week that corresponds to when Black Panther made 1 quarter of its sales. So keep in mind, 1 quarter can be written as 0.25. So for 1 quarter, that'll be just 0.25 times 373,000. 3,737,000. My apologies for saying that wrong. 0.25 times 3,737 will give me 934 million. So we're looking for this 934. So let's try to find that. So we'll start with orange. So I see 1,248 here. That's a little bit higher. And I see 727 million here. So remember, at the end of week 2, we have 727 million. So we have to go this occurs during week 3. So 1 quarter sales occurs during week 3. Then we want to do half the sales. So that's just 0.5 times the 337,000. So 0.5 times 3,737 gives me 1868. So 1868, let's just switch to green now. So 2,440 million will occur during week 5. 1,826 million occurs during week 4. So that's at the end of week 4. The movie made 1,826 million. So we have to go to week 5. So half the sales occur by the end of week 5. And then last, we want to find out when 3/4 of the sales occur during the first 7 weeks. So 3/4 sales will be 0.75 times 373,737 million, which gives me 2,802 million. So now I'm going to figure out when this occurs. So let's use pink for a different color. So 2,802. So here's 2,440. And if we look at week 6, we've broken into 3,800. So 2,440 is not quite 2,802. That's at the end of week 5, so we have to go with week 6. So 3/4 of sale occurs during week 6, and we are done with the movie ticket sales problem.